Hey guys, and welcome back. You're watching Comic Con Africa 2020. I hope you guys have had a great Saturday with us today. I know I have. But guys, without further ado, we got next Aubrey Joseph. What's happening, Aubrey?
What's going on, bro?
All good in you, bro.
Pretty good. Can you see me well? Looks like it's a little
A
dark in
little
here.
bit, a little bit more light.
Let me see. Let me fix up here.
Yeah, or if you draw those curtains.
Got it. That better?
That's that. How about if you turn it around that way, where the light is behind the laptop? There we go.
Yes.
There, perfect. And it's a dope view.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Sweet. Are you in New York right now?
No, I'm actually in LA, but I'm
LA.
from New York. So I keep
Where about in New
keep it New
York?
York. I'm from Brooklyn.
Sweet. That's dope. I've been a couple times. Very cool place. What area in Brooklyn?
East New York, basically.
Dope.
Yeah, East New York. I grew up in Canarsie, and well, I was born in Canarsie, and then I moved to East New York when I was about like 2 years old.
Cool, man. You started in Broadway, right?
Yes, sir, I did. It was actually just happened to be a lucky guy, and that was my first job ever, um, which makes no sense.
How old were you when you got your first role?
I auditioned when I was 9, and the first day I performed, I was 10. So between 9 and 10.
Damn, that's crazy. And how's that feeling? Do you still remember that first time getting on stage in a Broadway play?
Uh, I'm 21 now, so it's a little, but I definitely remember a few, you know, a few moments definitely stood out for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, definitely. And what do you prefer now that you're into TV and film? Do you still miss the stage?
Uh, sometimes, I make music and stuff as well, and the whole thing about the pandemic that you know kind of ruined for me was because I really haven't gotten a chance to actually perform my music live yet. Um, and I feel like my experience just with being in theater before would have helped with that a lot. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You said you're 2021. You got all the time, bro.
No,
You'll be back out there.
that one.
The cool thing about the pandemic is like nobody else is working, so it's not like you're not getting gigs.
Yeah, yeah. The world is at a standstill, and that could be a blessing and a curse.
Right. But the transition from stage to film, did that did that require quite a bit from you, or did it feel like it was pretty seamless?
Um, it was more so just about being playing a role like Tyrone and Cloak. It takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot from you. And it was my first time being a lead actor on a TV series ever. You know what I mean? I had done movies and guest stars on different shows before, but it was my first time actually having to, co-star and kind of carry a show on my part as well. So it was a bit of a learning curve, but when once you're in it, there's no time to like really smell the roses and kind of be like, oh man, I don't know what to do. You kind of have to just run with it and do the best that you can.
Right. Did you expect Cloak and Danger and Dagger would actually get this big?
Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard on it. We were really happy with what we had, especially even just from the pilot. So it was promising in every moment. So we kind of were just really confident in the fact that this is it was and it will always be a show that had never been on TV before, and I feel like we made history with that.
Right. And how does it feel like joining the Marvel team and contributing to the universe?
Man, it still doesn't feel real, man. Honestly, um, especially when you get that call from everybody at Marvel, and it's like, welcome to Marvel TV. I mean, that was one of the craziest moments I've ever had in my life. You know what I mean?
Right. You started off so young.
Right.
You good?
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
You started off so young in theater and performance. Is there any other profession you'd see yourself doing, or from the get-go was like, I want to be an actor and I want to be involved in music as well?
But besides those two,
Yeah.
uh, man, when I was really young, I really wanted to be a teacher. I really wanted to teach like world history. For some
Right.
reason, I loved world history when I was growing up for some reason. So I either wanted to be a teacher or when I was real young, I obviously wanted to go to NFL. Like that was my biggest thing. Playing football was such a rush for me. But I just kind of made the decision when it was just like scoring a touchdown doesn't really feel the same as whole crowd like kind of giving you a standing ovation or somebody coming after a show and being like, man, that show really changed my life. Or I was depressed before and that kind of helped me with my depression. Things like that is the reason why you want to be an actor and why you want to perform.
Totally. I definitely get you there. Um, Now that you talk about history, wanting to be a history teacher, who is your favorite Marvel character?
God. Honestly, Wolverine is
Right.
my favorite hero of all time, but I have to show love to Black Panther and T'Challa, of course. And rest in peace to Chadwick. That was just such a tragedy. But what he did for young Black people everywhere was just unbelievable. I doubt that we'll ever really see something so powerful ever again, and something so it was just something that happens. It was transitional. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
something that you never see, and
Right.
so man.
I actually was fortunate enough to see Black Panther in New York, and that energy, the energy, seeing it in the cinema in New York the first week it came out was crazy, man. Were you ever,
Man,
sorry?
we were showing kente cloths and you know what I mean, and in costume and everything. I loved it. It was a moment for us. You know what I mean? It was our movie. It felt like it was us, and that's what a lot of us need. You know what I mean?
Right. Did you ever have the privilege to meet Chadwick?
I did actually. I did. He actually interviewed us when we were doing some press for season one. He interviewed us, and he was actually a pretty big fan of the show and a big fan of what we were doing. So even that within itself, I was just like, oh my god, like
Right.
this is the
Did,
what I mean? Like this is that guy. So
did he share any wisdom with you guys?
yeah, of course, he just said, you know, just trust your gut and I'm paraphrasing obviously, but he was
Yeah.
just kind of telling us to just do what we feel that we can do best and kind of just recognizing the power that the show had and recognize the moment that we had to do that show. And I will never forget being a part of a show like that. Let alone a Marvel show. It was just a show that tackled so many real world issues and stuff that is rarely talked about.
Right. Are there any characters, are there any people from the show that you've uh, maintained contact with?
Yeah, of course. You try to do it as much as you can because that's family, man. Like we spent 2 years in New Orleans, and that really became our second home, and we became our second family. So, yeah, I'm always gonna have love for those people, man. They changed my life, and um, and just being able to work with those people on my first ever show I was the lucky guy. You know what I mean? Because everybody kind of guided me, through the right way, and I'm just really blessed to have been a part of a family like that.
Right. If you were a superhero, would you take Cloak's powers, or you would want to choose another superhero's powers?
For sure. Why would I take anybody else's?
Just checking.
Now, of course, I would have. Cloak is one of the most powerful superheroes that the Marvel universe has ever seen or ever known. So, that would be, you would have to be Cloak, and just you relate to his story. It's an underdog story. So,
Right. And what are you current? I know we're going through a pandemic right now. You've had a lot of time at home. Um, Apart from your music, is there anything else that you're working on?
yeah, I just did a guest guest starring episode on Little Fires Everywhere, and I'm shooting a movie around November. So we're still working, and we're still making sure that some stories, the right and the important stories are being told. So
Right.
That's what I do this for. It's about just being a part of projects that can push the culture forward.
For sure. Yeah, Aubrey, we got some questions from your fans right here. You don't mind answering them?
Of course.
Sweet. Somebody asked, would you have liked to have acted as Miles Morales?
Man, I'm open to anything. That would be dope as well. That is another type of situation where it would just be something that could change history, change an era. You know what I mean? So that would be a blessing for sure.
Right. Another question. What are your current plans for the future?
Man, just to keep inspiring, man, and to keep being a part of those projects and those movies and those TV shows that really share our stories and what it is to be a black person in America, and hopefully we can get somewhere with film, because that's what I take as my responsibility is what can I do with my platform to change society and to change the way we are, because right now, it's not only in America, it's everywhere all over the world. There's this divide that we have between each other, and I feel like TV and film and music as well is the one thing that really brings us together. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Just being the best that I could be as an actor and as a man and as a human being. And it's
Definitely. I think people need some good entertainment right now,
right.
and not just entertainment, but something where they can grow from.
Exactly.
Sweet. We have another question for you. Oh, does Cloak's dark theme represent who you are without the cloak?
There's Cloaks. What did you say?
Does Cloak's dark theme represent who you are without the cloak?
Nah, I'm the. I mean, I feel like everybody has a dark side to them, but I'm a very calm individual, so and try to be as positive as I can be. So, I would say no, and I think that's what was the most challenging thing about playing that role, is it was just so dark. And I just had to really tap into like the trauma that I've experienced in my own life, and maybe the dark times that I've experienced in my own life to really actually play that character.
Right.
So, but on daily 24/7, I would not say that I'm falling in line with that darkness. No.
Starting off so young, did you ever need guidance when taking on these characters where you felt like emotionally you weren't ready for them?
No, man. As an actor, you always got to be prepared. I've never felt that I've never been emotionally ready for a role, man. That's
right.
That's why I do this, and that's the rush that I get from acting. There's this one special feeling that actors kind of get that only a few people in this world get, and I feel like people in sports get it, and musicians get it, but it's like that moment when you're just completely focused on what's going on in that right moment. You know what I mean?
Right.
That moment when you're seen and you're stuck in and you're honed in, that is a beautiful, 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 beautiful feeling, man. And that's what I look forward to anytime I'm on a set.
I totally understand. Do you ever, because I'm a comedian, and sometimes like you perform and you have a great show and you forget how you even got to that thought of the joke. And you just remember that feeling of being on that wave. Do you ever watch a scene of yours and you go, I don't even remember my preparation for it, but when I was in that moment, it was just special.
No, of course, man. There's a lot of different scenes that I'll look back and I'll be like, I do not remember this take, but kind of like ain't no, you know what I mean? Just little situations like that.
Right. And with the music, right? What genre of music you doing?
I sing, I rap, so it's a little bit of R&B, it's a little bit of hip hop.
Cool. Who's
But
your?
I do everything. I'm just a fan of music. I'm a fan of just sonically pleasing things. So I do all types of music, really.
Sweet. We have another question for you, Aubrey.
Gotcha.
If the show hadn't been cancelled, what do you think would have happened next for Tyrone and Tandy?
Mhm. I think they just would have developed, their powers a lot more, and we probably would have saw them save the world on a bigger stage, and we probably would have seen them, grow their relationship. They're getting older, and I think Ty, by the end of season 2, kind of figured out that he was really into Tandy. I think that they definitely would have went that route, and probably would have, basically fell in love at some point.
Right.
It would have been, Joe Pikowski, who was the EP and writer and creator. He is a genius. So whatever we did was going to be just as great as the other season.
Sweet. I have another question. Jessica has two questions for you. As a child growing up, who was your favorite superhero? And lastly, do you have any advice for any kids that are looking up for you? Looking up to you, sorry.
As a kid, my favorite superheroes was definitely Wolverine, of course, and probably the Incredible Hulk. Um, and any advice that I would give to a kid just that would want to start acting, or just period.
Any kid who would like to start acting, or and kids out there that look up to you, do you have any advice for them?
Uh, I would just say to don't take the present for granted ever. And I think that's one thing that us actors kind of fall into. It's like when you get a big role, or something really amazing happens to you, you don't really have any time to like take it in and like sit down and smell the roses. You kind of have to hit the ground running and get to work. So what I would say is just take every moment in this present for what it is, and just know that there's never going to be success without failure. And we can't look down at failure. We can only look at it as a lesson. In a moment, does it feel great? Never. But the best way that you can get to your goals and to actually achieve what you want to achieve is looking at those failures and saying, this is what I did wrong, or this went wrong, and this is how I'm going to maneuver now. This is what I'm going to learn from it, and eventually it'll happen for me. You know what I mean? And I would also say just whatever, you don't have to have everything figured out. You're a kid. You know what I mean? Like even I'm still a kid and I'm 21. You know what I mean? So
Right.
and I really believe that we're all kids that just eventually evolve and you know you know get tagged on with a lot more responsibility when you get to a certain age. But we're all kids at heart. But what I would say is, stay true to yourself too. The best thing you could ever do to yourself is staying true to yourself. Because when you try to be somebody that's not within yourself for somebody else, that only benefits that person. It doesn't benefit you. And at the end of the day, the one person that we sit with every single day is who? It's ourselves.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mind.
Totally, bro. Right on. Yo, man, have you been to South Africa before?
No, but man, I have so much, like, obviously being in Lion King, you're around so many South Africans.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
growing up, I had really heavy South African and West African influences on me. So, like growing up, I knew the South African national anthem and
How
all
did
this
that
stuff.
come about?
One of my godfathers, his name is Baba Obadiah Wright, and he's a He does South African dancing and teaches, young men and young boys. So just growing up, I was always around the rites of passages and
Right.
ceremonies. So yeah, and Costa Sikelele, I know all of that.
Oh,
Man.
snap. That's crazy. Because usually, to be honest, we know the American anthem. I think you're the first American person who's told me they know the South African anthem. And your
Man,
pronunciation
Africa,
was on point.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, I
No,
spit like most.
that sounds legit, bro.
Oh, that's what's up, man. But now Africa, Africa and especially South Africa has had such a huge impact on my life. That's why I had to do this. You know what I mean? I had to come and speak to my people.
Dude, the Comic Con
Yeah,
Africa team would love to have you here next year.
next year I gotta come. I gotta come out there for sure.
For sure, bro. Dude, thank you so much for giving us your time. Wish you all the best. Look after yourself. And hope to see you soon.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right, sweet, bro. Thanks, Aubrey.
You got-